I'm going to be covering the homework volume 1, page 186. It's going to be a little bit fast because I don't want to keep this video too long. It was simply translating English sentences into Arabic sentences. First sentence is, what are you reading in the madrasa? I am reading Tasheel al-Adab. So, what I like to do here is I like to translate the crux of the sentence, the question first. What it's really asking. Reading in the madrasa. Are you reading in the madrasa? So, if you just translate this portion and add your particle questioning after, because usually in the Arabic language you'll have your particle questioning in the beginning and then your sentence follows. So you can make it that way. I find that to be easy because you don't have to worry about semantics then. It can get confusing otherwise. That's obviously a beginner's tip. So let's get into this. You reading in the madrasa. So you reading is going to be second person singular masculine. That's from aqra'u. It's going to be taqra'. Sorry, it's going to be from qara'a yaqra'u. It's going to be taqra'u. That's your fi'il and your fa'il because this contains anta within it. And then there is no maf'ul in this portion. You have fil madrasati, in the madrasa. Fi is going to be from your list of harf jar. بأتى كاف لام واو منذ مدخلها رب حاشم عدا في. And al-madrasati is going to be majroor. Together, these two will become muta'alliq bil fi'l, connected to your fi'l. Okay? Then you just throw in your question, your harf of istifham. Harf istifham. Your particle for questioning, and that's going to be ma. You can also use ماذا here, but ma is going to be used because it is more eloquent. ما تقرأ في المدرسة. The answer is, I am reading تسهيل الأدب. أقرأ, I am reading. That is your first person singular. And that's your fi'l and your fa'al because this contains ana within it. And you have تسهيل الأدبي. تسهيل الأدبي is going to be your maf'ul because this is mudaf ilay. And once you have a phrase together, it can't be taken apart. And the whole thing is your maf'ul. And generally you see whatever has to be applied to the mudaf ilay on the mudaf. That's why you see tasheel taking a fatha because it is maf'ul. And we know maf'ul is going to be in a nasib, the mansoob state. Quick review on mudaf ilay. Mudaf can never have alif lam. It can end in anything, doesn't matter. Mudaf ilay can take alif lam optionally and will always end in majroor state. Will always have kasra or representative of the majroor state. Okay, moving on. Do you recognize my brother? Yes, I recognize him. So, like in this one, if you use that technique, it's easy to do. You recognize my brother. So, عرف يعرف, and you need you recognize. So you need the anta version, which is going to be تعرف. That's second person masculine singular. تعرف. So that's your fi'l and your fa'il because it contains anta. And akhi, my brother. My brother is obviously mudaf ilayh association. Akhu is brother. Akhi is my brother. The ya is ya mutakallim. It's the attached pronoun for ana. That becomes your maf'ul. Then you have ta'arifu akhi. You recognize my brother. And you had your harf istifham questioning. Ata'arifu akhi. Do you recognize my brother? Easy. You got to answer. And for answering you have the harf jawab. You have the particle for answering. And na'am, yes. This is interesting because this is your fi'il, fa'il, and maf'ul. So, as we said, عرف يعرف, and in the first person singular, it's أعرف. That's your fi'il and your fa'il, because your fa'il is contained in ana, as being ana, and your maf'ul actually is the attached pronoun here, which is hu. أعرفه. So this is actually in the mansoob state, right? As we said, attached pronouns to verbs like this will be in your mansoob, in the mansoob state. So that's your sentence. نعم أعرفه. This is actually a full sentence, a complete verbal sentence. أعرفه. I recognize him. Next, will the door of the garden be open today? Today the door of the garden will not be opened. So this one is your first majhul example. Majhul is when the door is not known. So obviously there is no door here. Rather, you are asking about if something else will be opened, right? It's not like, will Mustafa open the door? No, this is asking, will the door be opened? The door is not known here. That's why instead of fataha yaftahu, you're seeing futiha yuftahu, right? So fataha يفتح is the ماضي and مضارع for معروف, known door. فتح يفتح is your مجهول version of ماضي مضارع. So, the door of the garden be opened today. So, يفتح will be opened. So, what is your نائب فاعل? Your replacement of the fa'il is going to be babul bustani, the door of the garden. Bab here is door, and al bustan is garden. You can also use hadiqa here. Typically, you won't use the word jannah because, well, it does have the connotation of a luscious garden. Classically, obviously, it does mean paradise. So, use hadiqa or use bustan. So, because it is majhul, your na'ib fa'il takes marfu. That's why it's babul and not babal. Because maybe in another construction this would be your maf'ul, like what's being opened. But in this case, it's your na'ib fa'il, and that's why it's going to be ma'ruf. هل يفتح باب البستان? Will the door of the garden be opened? And al-yawma is going to be today. The reason why it's ma is because it's maf'ul to yuftahu. It's maf'ul fi, so it's a maf'ul for the time and place. And then you just throw in your harf istifham. هل يفتح? Will the door of the garden be open today? هل يفتح باب البستان اليوم? And because obviously you can tell that this is will and not, I guess, was. That's why you can tell this has to be in the present tense form. That's why it's يفتح and not فتح. This stuff won't go away. Okay. And the answer, today the door of the garden will not be opened. So once again, we technically already have this sentence. The door of the garden. Today the door of the garden will not be opened. So if you look back here, you actually already have يفتح باب البستان اليوم. The door of the garden opened today. All you have to do is negate open, right? As we said, for mudari, lam is the choice that is most common, and that is typically not seen here. So as long as you throw in your lam, and then you have لا يفتح باب البستان اليوم. So it's the same construction, same thing going on as before, but in this case you just have a negation instead of a question, right? The only difference between these two is here you have the harf istifham, and here you have harf jawab. That changes how you're translating the whole thing. Everything else is the same. Okay, moving on. Where did the doorkeeper go? I do not know where he went. So, here, once again, the doorkeeper go. So, doorkeeper is bawab. To go is going to be dhahaba. So, very easy to say dhahaba al-bawabu. Dhahaba will be your fi'l, and the bawab will be your fa'il, your doer. That's why he's in the rafa state, the marfu state. Rafa state, marfu state, yes. Dhahaba al-bawabu. So the doorkeeper went. If you want to ask where he went, all you have to do is throw in the questioning istifham. But in this case, it's going to be ism istifham. أين ذهب البواب? And because of that, that is the mubtada. Whoops. Or because it starts with a noun in this case. Before you had a harf. See, hal is considered a harf, and because it is a harf, you don't have like sentences of harf. You have nominal sentences and verbal sentences, but no like harful sentences, like particle sentences. In this case, you ignore this, and you look at the second word, or the first fi'l, or the first verb. Whatever comes first, the verb or the noun, that's what your sentence is considered as. So in this case, it was a verbal sentence. Here, because you start with a noun, it's gonna be a nominal sentence. And as we know, nominal sentences are mubtada khabar. They are subject and predicate. Subject is where. So you're asking where something is. Where. And your khabar, the extra information about that is you're asking where this specific person went. ذهب البواب. So khabar can, as you can see, be a full sentence. So where did the doorkeeper went? Where did the doorkeeper went? Or in this case, because you have the full sentence, you're going to translate it as, where did the doorkeeper go? أين ذهب البواب? And you answer حرف جواب for negation, لا, and then أعلم. To know is علم يعلم. علم يعلم. So the second person, the first person singular version of that is أعلم, I know. So that's فعل and your فاعل, that's your verb and your doer. Your doer is أنا, it's within it. لا أعلم, I do not know. And then once again, أين ذهب, where he went or where he go. That's مبتدا خبر again, مفعول. So أين, because it's a noun, it's followed by the khabar, right? And it's followed by أين here is going to be your mubtada. Mubtada is followed by khabar, which is where he went. And these two together are going to be your maf'ul, your object of what you do not know. Okay? So in both cases, as you can see here, your khabar or your maf'ul can be entirely full, like complete sentences. Right? And that's how they're attached to the original construction. Okay? أين ذهب البواب؟ لا أعلم أين ذهب. And lastly, will you go for a stroll today? No, brother, I will go to the madrasa. So, you go. So, ذهب was to go. And that's the Maldi form. Your Muladi form, your present tense form is will you go, or your future is going to be Muladi at يذهب. And the Anta version is going to be تذهب. So, you go. For a stroll, nuzhatu is a stroll, but because you're saying for, you're going to have the particle lam. And lam is in the harf jar category. Bata, kaf, lam. And because of that, it's going to cause the noun to take kasra. It's going to cause the noun to go into majroor. That's why you have lin nuzhati. You have jar majroor. So will you go for a stroll? And al-yawma, today, is your maf'ul fi. It is your object, it's your for a time and place, and it is attached to tadhabu. Alright, so once again you have your fi'l fa'il. Your fa'il is contained in this. It is anta, it is you. Well, you go, you go. And then للنزهة is harf jar majroor, which is going to be متعلق بالفعل, connected to your fi'l, and your object is going to be your al-yawma, maf'ul fi, for your time and place. Throw in your harf istifham, and you have هل تذهب للنزهة اليوم? Will you go for a stroll today? And then no, brother. Even though it says no, brother, it should be la akhu, but because no one says no, like akhu, no one says la akhu, because realistically, even though you're saying brother, when you say that in Arabic, you're gonna say my brother, right? There's no such thing as, like, you don't call anybody as akhu. That's just weird. You're gonna say la akhi, my brother. Adhabu is gonna be I will go, right? Because I will go is now the same thing as yadhabu, tadhabu, but instead of being the second person masculine singular, this is first person singular, which is going to be adhabu, I will go, and to the madrasa. So ila is going to be your harf jar, which is going to cause your next noun to go into majroor, which is madrasa. That's why you have madrasati, harf jar, majroor becomes muta'alliq bil fi'l. That's connected to your fi'l, which is adhabu, and then all of this is the khabar, because you had akhi first, and as we said, because it starts with a noun, it becomes a nominal sentence, and that is mubtada khabar. The subject and everything that follows the subject is the khabar, and it contains all of that. Okay, and that's all for this lesson.